that was their warm-up, like playing soccer. And then we had a trampoline in there, so they're all jumping. And so it's just having fun and enjoying. So, and I think it's just, you go against a system, then people don't like it.
I will say Michael has taken all that very well.
Very well.
And it kind of looks like Disneyland spaceship in here.
Disney.
Right? When you go into Disneyland and you go into Space Mountain, this kind of has this vibe to it.
Sure.
So we're good, yeah? Okay. All right, Peter, Andrew, thanks for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we have a tradition on this podcast where the guest of the previous episode leaves a question for the future guest.
Oh, shucks. I've seen this. I should have come up with it.
Not knowing who you're going to be. I guess you'll know tomorrow's guest. Or do you know tomorrow's guest?
No.
Okay, I won't tell you.
Okay, no.
But the guest of the previous episode asked, do you have any regrets picking whatever you swam, right? You were a swimmer?
Yes, swam and then, ward and... Yeah.
So do you have any regrets picking swimming over another sport for you personally?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure not, because I went into the military and I was in the teams, so swimming definitely helped me to be in the... You're a diver. And our teams were actually layered, so we had like 3 teams. Alpha were the swimmers, and then Delta were the land guys. So definitely picking swimming was awesome for me.
Yeah, the way our previous guest framed the question was maybe your body physiologically or whatever, it could have been better at another sport.
Another sport, yeah.
Right, because everybody has a different physiological makeup and arm length and whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you think you could have been better at another sport?
Yeah, in South Africa, we all played rugby, right? So I loved rugby, but it's a kind of a crazy sport. But I think for swimming, for sure, tall is good. Michael's build is way better even, long arms
than yours.
And than mine. But swimming. And swimming complements everything, right? Surfing, paddling, everything. So it's... I love swimming. I love the water. We've got to live by the water. So swimming.
Do you think Michael picked the right sport for his body?
No, 100%.
Do you think he would have been good at anything else?
I think he would have been good at, anything that he put him mind to. Like he did, because we tried when he was younger, we did everything. And he was really good at soccer, amazing, because he's got really good coordination. So he would dive and block. They'd win games when he was little by him stopping every goal.
Oh, he was a goalie.
Yeah, he's a goalie.
Nice.
And then at the end, he would come forward and take the penalty shots, and they'd win the game that way. And even in high school, we had him as a kicker because he pronates. So and so we worked on that where he's got a perfect
kicker for American football.
Yeah, American football. Yeah, for the high school we played. So we had him play all sports. So I think he would have, even tennis, he's good because his eye ball coordination is really good. We spent a lot of time when he was young. I'd throw a ball at him while he was jumping on the trampoline, and so I think he could have been good at anything. Even surfing, he's good at surfing, So it's just, I think, anything you apply to, and it's natural athlete.
Before Michael was 10, he was doing a bunch of different sports.
Of sports, yeah.
When did he specialize in swimming?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever specialized in when we started just swimming, but there's still so many sports. Even when he was younger, would be wakeboarding and other sports. We'd ride bike and all that kind of stuff. So, and then even into swimming, we've never really specialized in swimming.
Because he's still surfing.
Yeah. But I'm saying specialized in swimming is in one stroke, right? We do everything.
But at what age did you stop the soccer? You stopped the football?
I think he played the football when it was a high school senior, right? He was homeschooled, but he played, for them when he was a senior.
So when he went pro at 14, right?
Yeah.
So he was swimming, went pro, but he was still on the high school football team. Yeah, but
the high school football team, I also took on. We bought the videos from the Dallas Cowboys, the kicking thing. So I worked with him on the kicking, and then he was in the team, obviously, and I wasn't part of that. But so he still did other things. I mean, we were always doing other things.
Yeah.
And I think that was very valuable, right? Human movement. Is, it
Was that intentional to try to build his athleticism, or it's just like it was fun?
Yeah, just like fun. Even when we built like our own pools, right? We bought this big city block, and so in the one side we had like a indoor soccer field. So the kids, that was their warm up, like playing soccer, and then we had a trampoline in there, so they're all jumping, and so it's just having fun and enjoying, And I think all of that translated, like definitely his flexibility in his ankles are the trampoline jumping, and then his reaction speed, was because I'd throw a ball at him, and so we're always just playing. And even starting swimming, it was just like swimming fast, it's relays and things.
When was he training alone his whole like 10 to 15-year-old career, or 10 to 18-year-old career? He was training alone, or did he have teammates?
No, we started because we built a pool, and then we started with a team. But that when he was very young, and then about that time. But when he went pro, for sure, he was alone. So trained alone the whole way through. Once or twice we had someone join us, but it's I never liked it. It was easy for me to train him alone because I could, obviously we're all about being specific and timing and stuff. And I mean, they still tease me now if I go to time to people that, can you do it, You
got to hit the lap button instead of stop.
Exactly.
You only know the thumb one.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it. But a funny story, like this one, and Michael's very close friends with this guy. I mean, they're like brothers now. But he was from Mexico, and their parents contacted us and asked, would we take on another athlete? And so I just always put out like a stupid price, like so that people would say, no, we can't afford that.
But they paid it.
Yeah, they were a very wealthy family. And it was such a beautiful thing too, because Harvey came and he just really became part of our family. And until this day, I know Michael was just out there the other day, and that's his brother, right? And it's so cool because it's a different country and different culture, but it's been wonderful. So I mean, it would have been fun actually if I was more forward thinking, probably to have more people come in. I mean, now we're going to be teaming it, and I'm super excited about I see the energy, and it's beautiful.
This morning was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah. I mean, I loved it.
That was fun. That was really good energy on the pool deck. We had Michael, we had Mikkel, we had Caleb, Calvin.
Yeah.
We had all of our guys, and people were just joking, laughing.
Yeah, it was lovely, and that's what I love. I love what you guys are doing. It's changing the sport, right, for pros, and to get the guys together like that, and they're all sharing and then everyone's learning off of each other.
They teach me more than I teach them.
Exactly.
I just listen. No,
it's amazing, and I love that. I was just saying to Sid was, that when you have that rested where we holding the breath, we used to do that when Mark was little, right, and we were popping. And then you go away from it, and it's like a reminder.
You're like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And it's so cool. So, I mean, I've taken lots of video. I'm going to make reels, and it'll be cool. Yeah. So, I love it. I love like where you're going. I feel like, and then if we all, in different areas, we can gel and work together. We make people better.
Yeah. What did Michael's training look like when he was 12, 13, 14?
Yeah. 12, 13, 14, so I discovered Dr. Russell when he was actually 10. And so we went into that whole specificity, Eurus RPT, which really made a lot of sense to me, and still obviously does. I mean, I for sure, to train, you want to be as specific as you can to the race. And so we'll do a much higher yardage, but being specific. And obviously,
much higher or much lower?
Higher yard, like higher yardage as in more repetitions.
Oh, much higher race pace.
Yeah, much higher race pace. Yeah,
not
yardage.
Say, like 8,000, 10,000 yards. Okay.
No. I mean, like going at the speed that you race. So, I mean, we're trying really hit between 20 and 30 repeats. Whereas now, I really, and it's because there's other USRPT clubs around the world, and it's fun to stay connected with them, and guys are doing 12 repeats. The big thing is making sure you have a stress point where, the body's stress, and then you can grow it. It's not like if you're just not stressing, there's no point, you just then leisure swimming. But I think you can get to your fail point, or it's a neural failure really. Fail seems a negative word, but you can get there quicker and still have wonderful results, So
do you have a system for progression for this? Like if you can hit 6:25 at pace, then you increase it. Or what does the system look like?
Yeah, so like now I feel like what we're doing is, obviously, if let's say you're going on 12 seconds, if you make 6, we bring it down to 11.7 or and I feel like if you drop too much, right? There's so much mental too.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
So if your athlete thinks like it's hard, then it's going to be hard. So,
right.
And that's why I always, like with Michael, he says, this, like something negative talk, I always tell him, don't, you just talk yourself out of it right away. But, and that's what I found with him, what was actually when he was younger. But remember now, we weren't doing power. We weren't doing gym really at all. So it was just speed stuff. And so, I would know, like, he would fail at 16 if I give him a really kind of hard time to make. But I know at 16 he's given me his all, Whereas if I gave him a hard time and said, just go at it, he'd probably fail earlier. But if he knows he can get to 16. So I think it's very mental.
What's the interval on these?
The interval on 100 pace was always 15 seconds. So 15 seconds.
So no interval.
Yeah. So it's 15 seconds rest. And then we're off again, right? And then if we're doing 200 pace, which would be 50s at your 200 pace, it would be a 20 seconds rest. But now, so the interval, I mean, I would, like, for sure, training in a group, I'd have them on a 30-second interval because you'd be,
it's too hard to...
Yeah. Because even if I say 15 seconds, it's like, okay, go. And then he'd drop and push, And we were talking about the timing thing. And it's like, so that's why I always got him off his feet. Yeah. Not like, I know Caleb was saying, okay, Greg got him off the hand. So, so I am definitely faster than most people because I'm going off the feet. But it's, that for me was uniform.
Yeah. So tomorrow's set, we kind of collaborated on, we're going to go 425s on 30, take a break. Oh, I meant to ask you about how much of a break between...
So the break would like take a minute.
1 minute? Yeah. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
you could go longer. You could go longer. I mean,
Santi's going to hurt.
Yeah. No, a minute's good. Like you don't... I mean, that's just really a break. And it's really, okay, if you go back to EuroSRPT, right? It's you want to swim at maximum heart rate. So your body feels like the whole time you're doing the repeats that it's in the 100 pace zone. And then you don't allow, the rest time doesn't allow the heart rate to drop down. So you start to accumulate lactate, right? But in the rest time, it allows it to drop, but not too long that you accumulate. And lactate, I know, is a fuel, and there's so much like gray around that.
Well, it's not lactate, it's the things associated with lactate, it's hydrogen.
Yeah, that's right. And that locks you down. And so if we don't rest too long, you're actually better.
Right.
Except they don't think so because they're tired,
Is this the premise of the entire system Michael was brought up on? Like you would do 25s, and then once he's good, you drop the goal time a little bit, and then you go again, drop the goal time a little bit.
All the time, And then, our taper would always be like, well, we're just doing less. And then we don't fail, right? So we don't fail. And
does that mean you slow the goal time a little bit?
No.
How do you make sure they don't fail?
The goal time stays exactly the same. We just, let's say I know that because I would document everything. So if I know he's taking his first fail at 16, I will go to like 8 or 10. So I know he's not failing. And so just no overstressing. So I know he's recovering all the time. Because it's the stress, right? And that was my thing now, working with you, right? Which is fantastic. Because I would try gym on my own. And the problem is like, they know, like I'm just reading goofy stuff and I'm trying like things that I think are good. He needs someone that he trusts. And then, we're working with something that makes a lot of sense. But it's like now I'm managing, and that's the thing with gym, right? It's a different stressor. So, and I think it's harder because it's a pure muscle stress, especially if it's a bad gym guy. You can kill the muscle, right? And you dig out of a deep hole and you can't get out, and then you can't swim fast. And so we got to manage all those, like doing power and destro. I see it, it's fantastic. But, again, you got to manage it all into your training.
Into the weekly. We said Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris, that's the perfect example.
Yeah, as coaches, we just play Tetris on where to put the stress and where to put the recovery so that we can maximize.
And that's it,
the gym part, it's actually very easy for managing. All you have to do is put it before your biggest rest. So, like, for example, if you're off on Wednesday, just do the gym on Tuesday.
Exactly.
So then it's the last thing you do, and then you have all this time to recover before you go fast again.
No, and that's beautiful. And Michael always said to me, Dad, connect with Sean, but I didn't know you, and I mean, you obviously are an Asian guy, but it's so nice. Like now we got to visit and hang out with you the whole week. So I know you, and it's like, okay, so I can.
This guy's not an asshole.
No, you're the best. And so it's so cool because I know, because I knew in the gym, like, okay, 3 days are just too hard, because where do I put that? I know I can, if I put Tuesday and we basically taking almost a rest day, I can do gym and then we can do our
Tuesday
power
afternoon.
So and then Tuesday afternoon, then Friday. So if we can put it all into 2 days, and that's then I share with you what I'm doing and how do I see it, and and we have that feedback. I mean, it will be way better now because I feel like I'll be able to tell you all the time, hey, I see this on Michael, and this is what I really want more. And even like I was saying to Sid, like I was watching, and I know Mikhail is not where he should be. Because he's been training himself, which is impossible. And so his dive is good. He's got a good dive, but he's like, when you measured his dive glide, it was really bad. Because there's something not good with his legs. So, and that's where, that's definitely a dry land thing.
It's just pure output. It's not specific, but you just need horsepower in the engine.
So, and that's what excites me is like metrics, right? I can work with this new time drop thing, and I've got metrics that I can give back to you and say, hey, I want him to be at this. And so you work your magic, and then you put your program, and so now we all gelling together, and I'm in my sphere, you doing your thing, and yet we're all working together, and we can all come together at some stage. It's like a dream where I always felt like we're kind of out there on our own, and everyone just throws mud at us all the time. So now, now people can throw mud at you as well. Which is
Thanks, awesome. Peter. Thanks for bringing the hate. I was always surprised why people hated on him so much.
But I think it was because, first of all, right, we foreign, we speak different. And then the biggest thing was like, because we didn't really believe in the college system. Like, I think you should be able to take sponsors and work your own trade. And so, and I think it's just, you go against a system, then people don't like it.
I will say Michael has taken all that very well.
Very well.
And he, like Caleb and I were saying yesterday, how impressive Michael is, because he, imagine like a 14-year-old boy getting all this hate. It would bring a lot of, I don't want to say trauma because that's a big word, but like a lot of, what's the word? Self-consciousness and, how should I not? But Michael didn't care, and he kept vlogging and he's open with his, he's sharing information.
So he's been so good, and he speaks so well. And I mean, I'm so proud of him too, because he's taken agents, but now he's doing his own representing himself, and he does it so well. And he's building. He understands that it's about eyes, and it's so good.
He understands the game.
No, it's really a beautiful thing.
How did you initially start coaching him? Because I'm guessing he was in a club team first.
So it actually was our neighbor when we landed here in South Dakota. Said, hey, our kids swim, you should bring your son. And he's just a little boy running around playing. And I thought, of course, I love swimming, let's get him in the club. And it was one day I had time. I was like working in an ag, because I'm an agricultural background, and I went to watch him, and it's like, oh my goodness, this kid is freaking, is freaking a bad word?
No, go ahead. You can use bad words.
But I just thought, like, this kid is so talented. And so I called my wife and said, look, you just got to come down and watch him. So I knew right away. And I do believe God gives us gifts, right? And so I just think that's his gift, is to move through water well. And now I love my kids. How do I help him to work that gift the best he can. And obviously we started speaking to the coach, and then, and it's like, you just probably look like a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
And
how about we try this?
Yeah.
You were that asshole parent that we don't like.
I know. And she said, we don't change our program for any talented kid. And it's like, okay, well, this is my kid. And so,
but mine's special.
It's like, and so, so I started, and I was looking for, again, I really thought science is the way, right? I spoke to Russian scientists and to all. And then at an ASCA convention, I listened to this Dr. Russell, and it was like, oh my goodness. He spoke against, he was just it's against everything that seemed normal. And so I went up afterwards and I said, okay, I introduced myself. I said, please, I'm going to work with you. I took his notes, and we started working together right from there. And that's when ultra short race-based training, the acronym, was born. And he started breaking records, national records, immediately. Yeah. And just training specificity, and his whole thing was about programming. We machines, right? You program yourself. And if you take it, even in the military, when we were to go and do something, right? Everything was planned out, and we'd do it over and over and over, and then you go and do it. And it's the same thing. You plan, and we train exactly, and then you come to race and you do it. You don't have to talk about it because you're ready. And it's the problem is when you think about it and talk about it, you put yourself out. And there's lots of science on that, where if you try and if you try and do it on the day of, you go backwards.
Yeah, because you're not used to I think you listened to the podcast with Cam that we did.
Yeah.
He talks about you're swimming slow all season long, and then you rest, and then now you're swimming now you're practicing the speed that you're trying to swim at.
Yeah.
And the thing that was kind of kind of stood out was now you're swimming at this velocity you've never swam at, and now that's a new stimulus, and that's where the quote unquote taper blues come from, because you haven't done this at all. New stimulus, and now you're tired and your stroke feels weird, because I do think your stroke mechanics change depending on the velocity at which you're swimming at.
Absolutely. Well, that's the whole thing with fail, right? Is our fails, it's got to be a brain firing to muscle, so it's got to be neural, because if it's deep, you're not going to be able to have a short rest and then still go at the same speed. So it's got to be, you can't dig yourself in that big hole. It's got to be, and there's good weight guys that have Mark Mensa was always the, takes one bullet to kill a person thing, where it's you have the fail and then you get out and you rest to recover, and then you get stronger and bigger and better. And it's the same thing with swimming, right? That's why you've got to be going fast all the time. So,
I think Mike Mentzer, he's you train to failure once or twice a week, and that's it.
And then it's a 72-hour recovery, right?
Yeah.
And that's, so the gym stuff, it's also okay, I get. And there's other guys like that, and I love reading all his stuff. He's the Russian, the kettlebell guy, so good. Pavel, yeah. So Pavel Tatslin, incredible. And he's very USRPT, right? And it's that whole thing of, I know Michael's doing because Cam does it's a good exercise, the weighted pull-ups. But he calls it greasing the groove, where if you go every hour, but you just do one or two, and so nothing to failure.
You accumulate volume over time.
Yeah, and it's super interesting, and it's so I've been telling them all the time, you must do it multiple times in a day, but very little bit, hanging as well, helps you with mobility, and it's really interesting.
That's all coaching is it's a logistical game of trying to figure out where you're going to put your stressors and have time to recover.
That's it, recovery actually. And there's so many coaches that the good, in triathlon's a really good example, right? The great coaches, because everyone's looking at each other and thinking, well, I need to be on the bike 6 hours, and I need to run, and then so you never recover. And the good one takes the athlete and recovers them, and then they do well, and it's wow. So recovery is probably the most important aspect of our training, is because it's easy to hurt someone, but
you can't just stimulate.
You've got to recover. And so that's and that even now is okay, so we got speed. We're training for the 100, so there's got to be pace, there's speed, there's power, there's gym, and we're adding it all in. And, you know, and I know surfing, I think, is fantastic, but also it's a stress, but it's a recovery. And so we just got to gel it all.
Recovery psychologically?
I think, like...
For surfing.
So surfing, I think you get in the water, right? And you've got that energy or
there's
electricity.
Something about the
water's
ocean. There's
amazing.
Something there.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then it's the... I guess you just get flooded with that oxytocin of relaxing. Endorphins, all that, because you're having fun with your mates, and it's just super exciting, catching waves. And so, you know, there's a stressor, and I feel like it's a work as well, but the recovery is massive. And
and it helps build your work capacity.
Yeah, big time.
I've always thought, like, you want to build your work capacity in a way that doesn't mess up your main thing.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if we're trying to build our work capacity for the 50 freestyle stroke, you don't want to do a bunch of sloppy swimming.
No.
But surfing is, you know, it's different enough to where I feel like it doesn't affect it, but you can still be aerobic or whatever.
Definitely.
And it doesn't affect it that much.
It's almost like USRPT, right? Because, like, especially in Hawaii, the waves are bigger. They measure the. Do they measure the back or the front? I mean, but it's huge, and the currents are strong. So you always, and like, you're going to paddle really hard to get through that big face coming at you.
Yeah. And he's riding a shortboard, right? So you have to paddle even harder.
Hard. So it's good training, and I mean, okay, so the arms are, you know, you're not going to cross, and
that's true.
Yeah, it's a good, like, additional training for sure.
How's Hawaii been for you guys so far?
Fantastic.
What was the idea behind the move?
Yeah, well, the idea originally really was okay, so we know, like, Michael's journey, right? He didn't do well trials, and I mean, we had that where he said, "Dad, I'm going to try something different." And
was that his idea to go to ASU? Or?
Yeah, I think definitely all of that was his idea. I mean, I wouldn't have, you know, I mean, I wanted to train him all the way through.
Did that make you sad?
Oh yeah, super sad. I mean, I'm his dad,
and
I always felt like, hey, we're going to get this finished. Obviously, I wasn't happy where we were with, you know, the results were bad, and so but it was a great time for me also to learn. I had good friends that said, Peter, just like, back right off. Don't, you know, tell him, Mark, you're doing something silly and all that. Just let him do his thing and love him and support him. So I really did my best of, hey, bud, I'll video races, and, you know, it's hard to go. Yeah. I went to the One Worlds, and I was like, you know what? And I'm sitting here, like, I'm in the crowd. I'm just a
normal guy in Singapore.
Like, no, I went to Hungary. Okay. I think it was the first Worlds, right?
Okay.
That after he had left me. And he didn't do too bad, but it's just horrible. I'm like, you know, I mean, obviously I love my son, but I'm like, I've got to wait for him to come out so I can say, hey, how's it going? And I love what I think I love the most about this sport too is, like, when he has his highs, I'm the first guy that give him the hug, or if he has the lows, I'm his dad guy. And I'm there, and it's a beautiful thing. So so the whole Hawaii thing really was kind of later on. I thought, okay, you know what? I have an opportunity to actually work with a team, you know, doing what I did with Michael. So I should take that and do that. And there was a club out there that had been speaking to me for years. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just do that. That'll be fun. And in retrospect, you know, if you look back, it's like, if I look back now, it's like, you know, he brought a couple kids like Patrick and Mikkel, and then, what was her name? Oh, my goodness, the tall girl from the sprinter from Hungary. Petra came out, and it was so fun, but he just loved it, and he loved, you know, obviously the lifestyle, the group environment, and then for me in that too, you know, and it still wasn't a talk of, oh, you know, I want to come back, Dad. It was, for me, I've seen the dynamic of working as a team, you know, it's like, wow. And I think still, you know, we aren't quite at a team, because Mikkel's had some visa issues, but he'll be out soon, and that's going to just be next level. I see it already, and I saw it today.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of it. And it was an easy practice today.
Yeah, it's easy, and then, you know, they are coming up with their own things. Like, really, the minute, they, you know, we went to the thing of, you know, we were doing for the rest for 30, and then it was like, hey, guys, we should go 45. And then it's like, no, let's do a minute, you know.
Yeah. It wasn't even our idea.
Yeah, no.
It was,
how cool
idea.
is that? So, and I see that dynamic. So I think it's going to be incredible, you know. And
that was part of the appeal of going to ASU was he would have teammates, right?
Team. And then also, you know, we met Herbie when he was very young. And so we knew Herbie was race because he was obviously studying Dr. Russell's work. Yeah. So
Herbie's the guy who told me about Dr. Russell first. Yeah. So cool. I don't know if you know, but we were teammates.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So when he was a junior, I was a freshman. Yeah. And I remember we would go to the dining hall and like at this point we've never coached. We're just college kids.
That's crazy.
And we would talk in the dining hall for like 2 hours about training. He's like, hey, you got to check out this Dr. Russell guy. Crazy. And I would read his stuff. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
That's crazy. And what I liked about Herbie was too, because we'd in the beginning, right, we'd have like where you have a prayer and stuff before the meet, and Herbie would always be there. So I loved that. You know, I felt like Herbie's the cool guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be the best fit for him anyway, and he made that decision himself, which was awesome. Although I did look at some of the practices and I had to really because it was nothing near what we. So Herb's obviously, you know, there's other stuff that he. And so it didn't really suit Michael.
Yeah. The thing that gives, like, when I worry about that kind of stuff, there's so many ways to skin a cat. Yeah. Like there's so many ways to get to 21:050. Yeah. Like, there's not one way to do it.
And sprinting it's not USRPT, right? Because you're going super fast and we're having big rests because you can't
10 minutes rest.
You've got to be fully recovered to hit those paces.
Yeah.
And so I definitely have a USRPT in our training because it's USRPT for the pace work, but the other work is not. And then power, you know, how do you can't, you know, it's not USRPT. It's like power and then go fast. And
power as in like pulling a bucket.
The destro, destro. And I love that it's measurable, right?
Yeah, that's what I really like.
Yeah, and then also with the guys, you can see they work hard to, you know, they don't want to you know, be under what they're going.
I love the shit talking that happens between them, and you know, one of Calvin's favorite phrases is when someone swims slower than him, he'll go, that's tough, that's tough.
Exactly.
The bicker banner is really
so
fun.
good. It's so good. So I mean, I love it, and
I'm so excited for tomorrow's practice.
Yeah, that'll be.
I wrote it already.
Yeah.
Are you vlogging? You're vlogging it, Sid? Yeah. So tomorrow's practice will be on our vlog. Yeah. But it's gonna be. Yeah. It's gonna be epic.
I'll definitely capture a lot and
put it on your reels. You're at Coach Peter Andrew.
At Coach Peter Andrew.
Follow him.
Yeah. Yeah. Follow me.
I noticed Michael's psychology, he's very positive. Even if something goes bad, he's like, oh, but it was because of this, and I can work on that. And he never, because I've worked with, you know, a lot of people now, and I notice how people approach negativity, and some people they're just down and they're looking for excuses, and it's a real energy drain, especially for the coach when you have to like, hey, it's okay, and you have to have this conversation like 20 times, the same conversation. But with Michael, like, you know, at US Open, he was, no offense, but he was terrible.
Terrible. Oh, it's terrible.
And he was like, it's okay because it's because I'm 10 pounds over and I haven't trained and I haven't shaved. It's like, oh, this guy's like very optimistic. Yeah. Where did you breed that in him, or was that?
Yeah, you know, I feel like from when he was little, right? We've always. I mean, and also the reality is living with Michael. Like when something hurts. And I do like this about him, is he tells me all the time, oh, Dad, my shoulder is sore. And he does, for me, I know he's a positive guy and he's always going to give his best in that, but I'll often see him like he moans all the time about, but he's letting me know, like, hey, I've got this, that, and I know it's real, but I try and just ignore it. But I'd probably be like, if he wasn't doing that, it's like he's an AI clone, because who is this guy?
Right.
But he definitely is, and he's very cerebral. He knows when something feels off, and like even if I'm timing him. Like doing USRPT and he's suddenly off, he knows, like, oh, I did this, that doesn't count, and then he'll keep going, you know. And so I really appreciate that about him. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Can we go back to a little bit more of what Michael's doing? I want to know, like, the kind of the nitty gritty of what he was doing when he was 12 to 15 swimming wise. Like, do you remember like training schedule, like training volume?
No. Geez, volume. I mean, it was still little, but it was all at pace, right? So probably 2.5. And we also, our first pool I put those rings the whole way down the center.
There's 2 lanes, 25 meters,
2
right?
lanes. And we were 25 meters too, which is very interesting because Dr. Russell has done all these calculations on 25 meters translates really well to 50 meters. And so, I don't know, but this last meet that we just did in Westmont, it was really a great showing, and we haven't been back together for very long. And like you said, he was really rubbish starting out. So I was
very pleasantly surprised on how fast
it was
he came
amazing.
back.
And we tested like the 100 breaths because even that I thought, okay, it's going to be really bad. But I was like surprised on the first one, and then we tested that right to see how fast can you take it out before you die. And it was like on the finals, he went out and we planned for a 27.5. He was 27.65. We added a stroke each time to get him on to 14. And he was right close to it. But then on the last 25, you could see he just like died.
When he went, when he added a stroke, he was still 27 mid, right?
27.65. So he dropped
when he
down.
went 13 strokes, he was 27.
When he went 13, he was 27.9 something, right?
Okay, so he only dropped 0.3 from that. But it cost him more in the back end.
Completely cost him. And it may have been later in the meet too, and we haven't, And even for me, that's because we've started the 12. It's doing 12 repeats, but on 4-4-4, and I think it's. Tomorrow we'll go 4-4-4, but if we make it fast enough, they probably are failing, even if they don't fail on 4, because 5 they won't make. And so I think with Michael, what we'll go is 6-6-6, so we're looking at 18 repeats. But I won't expect him to make the 6. So if he goes 5 and then fails on 6, that'll be great. So
you want to design it where it's long enough that they have time to fail.
Yeah. So it's a true fail. I mean, because like. Usually I'd know like that's his max that he gets on like number 4, but I'm not sure. Could he get another one? So even I have that discussion with him, and he says, "Dad, we should make sure we fail because that way we know. Okay, I've had a stress point, and not just like I'm stressed, but I'm actually not." Not having it's like that break where now we pop from there.
And to find their 100 pace, you're just taking their best 100 time divided by 4.
Divided by 4, And then tomorrow we're going to offer them, right, like you could bring it down a little. I mean, they're probably all going to just go on there divided by 4.
Maybe on the workout, I'll write the pace plus or minus 0.2 cool. So they have an option of what they want to hit. Because some people, maybe they're more in shape or they're feeling better and they can choose what
like
they're
Mikkel now, I think he's making half a 25. He's been training himself, so...
I'm glad he's with us for. I think he's going to be with us for 2 weeks.
Till he has his
visa.
His visa interview, and then he's going to fly out to us, which is
April, right?
April,
that'll be good.
Now I'm really looking forward to having him, and then he's gonna. They're gonna stay together too, which is going to be wonderful. And I mean, obviously in Hawaii. You train together, you play together because it's a play time after. He likes to kiteboard and I'll kiteboard with them and surf, and we all out there, just living life. It's great.
How did Michael learn how to surf? In San Diego?
It was in San Diego,
Because there's no waves in Kansas.
No. So we moved. And actually that was a really interesting because we're always swimming and traveling, and then he went to a Mare Nostrum, I think, on his own or with a team. I think it was a junior US team. And then we said to my daughter, what would you like to do? Let's, we'll do whatever you want to do. And she said, let's do a road trip. So we went in a little van and we road tripped all the way down. And then we got 2 surfboards, her and I, and we surfed the whole way up the coast. And we got to Encinitas. And she said, hey, guys, let's just move here.
And it was her idea.
Yeah, it was her idea, So we after that, we got home and we we got put our place in the market, and we auctioned off all our stuff, and we moved to Encinitas, and that was it.
Wow.
Right. Michael got into surfing, and it's super fun. I mean, he
So
still
fun.
loves Encinitas.
Yeah.
I know from here we're going to be there for a few days, and he's got all these connections. And
you've got grandchild number 2 on the way any moment now.
Any moment.
Maybe you'll get a text message during this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Waiting on that.
So that pool at your house, it's still there?
Yeah, it's still there. They actually made it better. Because we built, obviously you can't have an outside pool there. It's too cold in the winters. But so one of the coaches from Quad A, Patrick, he redid it and put in a better pool than we had. Yeah.
So it's bigger than 2 lanes.
I think it's still 2 lanes.
Okay.
But because obviously the building was built just for 2 lanes, but it's a hard-sided, everything's better pool.
Where does this dedication for you come from? Because you recognize that your son is talented, and to go to the extreme of I'm going to learn as much as I can about this sport, and then I'm going to build a pool for my son so I can train him at. You have to have an extreme dedication.
It's crazy.
To this.
No, I think it's it's probably not normal, right? But I don't know, because I think even if I go back to myself, right, when I was a kid, I watched, and for us, military is compulsory, so you had to do it. And I'd go to surf with my dad, and I'd watch, because the dive teams would do their jumping out of helicopters and rolling off of fast boats, and it was my dream. I've got to do that. That's just too cool. And but when I was in, it was so hard. I just was always thinking I don't want to do this anymore. But then I can't give up. Right? We just go till it's and that probably it's not the healthiest thing, because you could almost die giving your all, and
quite literally. You fought in a war.
Right? I mean, we were always at war back then.
I didn't know that. You fought in war.
No, so the funniest thing was even at Chicago, I met a guy my age
from Angola.
And it's dude, I know we were
you shot at him,
shooting at each other.
Did you fire a gun?
I was a diver, so ours was always
underwater,
more clandestine, right? We were more protected because government spent a lot of money training us, and so ours would be more in and out, and then the military guys, the foot guys, would come in and do their thing.
So you just spy on people. You would dive, spy on people,
and then if you'd set little bombs and things, and be out of there before the big booms went off,
exploded.
And then it was a lot of ours was rescuing as well, right? Because you'd obviously in the water and stuff, and then training the pilots. And our coastline was very rough. I mean, we got probably the roughest oceans in the world, because warm and cold meat. And
I see.
So it was a fun time, and we were just young kids anyway back then. But
talk to me about Michael's training now. What does it look any different now?
It's very different.
Or does it look the same as before?
No, very different. I think in that we've added so much. Is adding, of course, the dry land, the power stuff, and then adding the destro. That's a big add as well. So I know I'm dealing with a lot more fatigue. And then for them to recover properly. So it's definitely different. And definitely I've brought down the volume on the the sets of the race RPT, because how could I do that amount with adding this other, right? But I'm more of a believer that we don't need to do the volume, because it's working. It's less volumes working. I said working with other clubs, and that's why I was excited when I saw Sean Nivert, because I know, we had been speaking before. He had reached out to me from the Netherlands, and I know what he's doing here is maybe different, and I need to interview him and find out. Because I put that out there, he's from a USRPT club, and someone said, but he's at Alabama. What are they doing? It's okay, maybe.
Well, he swam pretty fast.
Yeah, really fast.
21.6.
Really fast. And his base is from USRPT training, right? Also he's like a freak of nature.
Look at the
giant.
Guy.
He's giant.
Looking up.
Yeah, he's a huge guy. But But I mean, for Michael's training, it's definitely, we've got a lot more going on, and then to fit it all in, like the Tetris, like we said, right? And but it's exciting. And then what's exciting is, like, you know, we have so many more like tracking machines where we can, you know, measure, and there's more coming in, and so it makes it like a much more fun puzzle. Yeah.
And you're swimming 5 times a week right now, right?
Yeah, we swim Monday and then Tuesday. So it's really Monday, Tuesday gym. Wednesday, Thursday. So I'd say we swim. Our swim would be 4 times a week. But then Wednesdays we do it the morning, just for a short while. We do the power, so destro. But then you're still swimming because we unleash, but it's just shorter distances. So it's just speed. And then we'll do destro on Saturday morning again. So my whole thing is Wednesday I really want them to have off. So we try and do it early, and then they go and surf and do their thing. And then Saturday also, I don't want them doing too much. So we do it really early, for us, really early is 7. So 7, and it's a very nice warm pool. So it's actually kind of a nice environment. And then only doing like 10s on the destro, right? So we hold the stroke really well. And I kind of like it. And whether it's right or wrong is coming from your gym, we would have done in the evening. They have their sleep, and then they're doing the power in the morning. So it's almost power to power. Power. And then you have the whole day to recover, and you're using the ocean. And then they start Wednesday. I don't do fast power stuff on even sprinting on the Thursday, because it'll be Tuesday and then Wednesday, Thursday. It's more than our sets and stuff, right? And then the power speed stuff will come in on Friday, and then gym on Friday evening, followed by power again
on Saturday.
And I feel like it really works well, because then Saturday they got Saturday and Sunday. By Monday, I feel should be ready to go. Yeah, as long as they haven't, done crazy stuff. Yeah, and
on the weekend.
Yeah, and it's up to them to be responsible, like their responsibility of. And that's like, how they eat.
Like, I feel like Michael's very professional in that.
Yeah, he's very, and he knows, what it all takes. I mean, it's, relationships and all those type of things too. You have to balance everything.
Taking care of stressors. Yeah. That's one thing we talked a lot about in Westmont was like managing life stressors.
Yeah, no, it's a huge deal there. Yeah.
Like I think Calvin would be even faster if he didn't have to work. He has a full-time job.
I know.
He has a full-time job and he's training.
I know we were speaking to him about he travels an hour and a half.
Yeah, to get the practice.
Yeah, but I mean, he's smart enough that he's doing his meetings and he's listening to podcasts, so he's using that time well, which is pretty cool. I mean, I hate traveling to a pool, so we're living close to where we train, and it's so nice. Just get to the pool, and I love that. And that's, I think, for a professional athlete, is to take all the stresses in life out, right? Because then you just focus on the important things, and all the other things are just.
But at the same time, you don't want to go homeless.
No, that is the thing. It is. But we try and obviously help as much as we can with all of that, and in Hawaii, it's such a beautiful environment. I mean, he's got lots of little sponsors, like Kalua Eggs gives them 100 eggs a week, and
100 eggs a week.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, it's so lovely.
That's a lot of eggs.
He's got on the North Shore, because obviously they go surf there. Is oh my goodness, and I'm going to forget their name, which would be terrible, but it has already happened.
You're getting old, Peter.
Yeah, terribly old. Yeah, it's so. But anyway, he gets burritos from them, and it's just it's a lovely. I mean, I feel like the environment on Hawaii is such a good training environment. Yeah,
it's just so chill.
It's so chill.
I want to go out for a training camp so bad.
Yeah, you'd love it. You'd love it.
Yeah. I've competed at actually my best 50 free time is at UH.
Wow.
Yeah, I think because part of it is you're chill, you're by the ocean, it's relaxed, there's no pressure, and then you swim fast.
Yeah, it's for real. It's right.
So going back, so the weekly cycle, it's Monday, Tuesday is kind of race pace stuff. Wednesday is buckets.
Like right now, because then it changes always too, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you had us at 3 times on the gym, and it's like
can't fit it in.
Yeah, because then we'd start on Monday, and it's like that's not good, because now so we can swim well on Monday, but then I've got Tuesday, and I'm trying to give them off on Wednesday, so so we've shifted that around, and And then, if I feel like there's more changes, I mean, I'll shift again. But I like where we are. Like right now, it would be, Monday. I might be messing it up, but I know Monday, I think we start with power. And then Tuesday we put our sets in, but we still, I'm trying to do like not just the speed from the dive, because I like to do the dive 15s and get that down because that's so important. And I've seen
you have to be fresh for that. Yeah,
with racing Caleb. So I know we start with dive 15s on Monday, so we got to be fast off the dive and then the breakout. But then I want to do dive 25s at the right speed. And then I want to do push 25s at the right speed, but you can't. I've tried to put those together; they don't work together. And then the pace work, it's almost impossible to put it after speed because then you can't make the pace, and then it's pointless to train at a pace that's not makeable. So,
you feel like you can't do pace after speed?
No. Really? I feel like he's
the pace is off.
The pace is off. He can't hold it,
yeah.
And because the speed, but also we could experiment with doing, less repeats, and I've definitely dropped. I used to always do 100 pace of free, but I've really figured out that he drops. It's either his left or his right arm. I think it's his right arm drops the bicep a little early, so it's creating drag. And I think it's because he's got too much rotation on because he's taking the breath when he breathes. Freestyle, and so if we don't do, because we're not going to do the 100 anyway, so don't train 100 pace. We just train where he's keeping the body flatter, and I like that. And today I was thinking, like watching, even Caleb swimming is like, but we could do it with a snorkel and then hold straight. But I don't know. Training 2 100 pace sets is going to be way easier than 3. I can manage it because I really would like to get 3 times a week of 100 pace training, so that
but the only 100 he's going to do is 100 breaststroke,
100 breast, 100 fly.
Oh,
so
100 fly
if we
too.
set for the 100 fly, his fly is really good because he's able to stay really high,
flat,
really flat. So he's got a really good fly. If we have the legs for it, he'll swim a very fast 100 fly. But we need one good 100, right? Because we still have a silly selection process in the USA. And, they're not going to select you on your 50s except for the 50 free. But I feel like that's a big risk to rely on one
just
50.
One event,
If you do something wrong, then you don't make
You're
the
off
team.
The team. Yeah.
So it's like, okay. And in the breaststroke, I think if we build his leg power, it's going to be, we'll get to 57s for sure. I have no doubt.
Talk to me about his legs. You were talking to me at Westmont about his breaststroke kick.
I mean, that's why I thought he's not going to do well at Westmont because even his timing looked a little off to me in the warm-ups, but his power is not good. And I mean, I feel like that power with the big leg and the squeeze, it's only coming from doing it in the water, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do on dry land for that? I think the dry land thing that really helps his breaststroke, which I see already, is the mobility in the arms, so he doesn't sit with that kind of bent body, and then we sit super high. And so I'm going for the super high, but just under the water with that big driving kick.
And that's why that foot comes out of the water sometimes.
And I get so much people.
And you're okay with that because the trade-off is worth it in your opinion.
Oh, absolutely. And because you're moving water with the calf and the quad. And so a heel scraping surface, it's not really creating drag. You just, the drag is if you're high on the front and your legs are too deep. That's the drag, right? So, I'm working for high, but obviously, and we've been doing a lot of power stuff on 50 pace breaststroke, which is a tighter, quicker kick. So we're really training 2 completely different kicks and strokes.
So his 100 breaststroke kick is wider,
way wide
than his 50,
wide. And then because we're riding. If our timing's right and we can get the arms head and then we ride that momentum, and because he's high, he's really riding it at like a -4 angle. And we know from the studies is if you're in that angle, you are moving.
What's this -4 angle?
So they did the studies, and I don't know where, but Doc was involved in that. of a kid in a flume and whatever, and they tested them horizontal or slightly vertical, which was terrible, and then at a slightly negative, which is -4 position, was so much faster than a horizontal.
And that's from fingertip all the way to heel.
So maybe fingertip. So it's more probably from a measure of the head to the heel. Yeah.
Okay.
But you'd obviously the fingertip would be, because it's all an extension. So if you can get into that position, and that's the thing, is like what I've seen even on his fly, is instead of, if we land wide, you know, you obviously he drops into the catch too early. So if we get the hands right out in front of us, you end up riding the glide just a teeny bit, right? And you only need a fraction of a second. Yeah. But what it does too is it, as he throws the hands, that, you know, then with the heads coming in, the momentum, then the legs come up, and so the momentum you're riding at a negative instead of you know, like at a flat angle, and it's so much faster.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why that position is faster.
Yeah, I don't know.
Flat.
I mean, it's science, right? Yeah. Like and I mean, you know, obviously, like if you're looking underwater, you're faster underwater, but if you're in the right position, you know, but yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, it's like swimming, right? We're just figuring how and it's all about how much drag. Can we cut drag? Mm-hmm. We get faster.
Yeah.
And then power, you know, and that's for sure for a speed guy. You need the power.
Yeah.
But you need to be clean and
drag is big for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's on your Instagram bio. Yeah. I think it says like swimming faster, minimizing drag.
Minimizing drag, yeah. No,
that means it's very big for you.
Yeah, no, it's everything's about minimizing drag. And a lot of people look at a stroke and they think they can understand and see things by looking what they're doing above, but it's really not. It's all what's happening in the water. Underwater. It's in the water where, you know, like the catch and you know, the angles and stuff. It's all what's happening underneath, which is very hard to see properly without a camera that you can actually freeze frame to see, you know, because otherwise our eyes lie to us a lot.
Yeah. How often do you guys do the underwater filming stuff?
Yeah, like, I mean,
every session?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I possibly can, yeah.
You so just stick a GoPro?
Yeah, GoPro, or I have I just put my phone in one of those boxes.
Oh, okay.
And so it's pretty nice and easy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, also that a lot of times Michael will tell me, Dad, you know, let's just not film today. But I like it. I mean, and now, you know, obviously with that time drop, that's radical because I can just film them and send it to him.
Yeah.
He can tell me like where are we? Like if I'm at the 5, what's Michael moving at the 5? What's he moving at the 10? And we can figure out, you know, what do we need to hold and where are we? And then work to hold on that. So we really, it changes the game, right?
Yeah.
Measurable stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for me, it's super exciting. And, you know, and then we do it and see at the end of the day. You know, we do is our best, right?
Yeah. What's really exciting for me is Michael's never really done like the traditional gym stuff.
Yeah.
And basically we have a new stimulus that we've been keeping in your back pocket, right? And now we're going to deploy this and we'll see what he can do.
And that's it. And I think if it's done right, it's like a massive, you know.
Everybody talks about swim specific gym training. There are some things that you need to consider, but the real thing that is the most swim specific is how do you minimize the fatigue? That's the most important component of it.
And increase the mobility, right?
And increase mobility.
Because obviously,
that's the big part.
That's like gym stuff. If it's done wrong, right, it can make you so immobile.
Have you seen a difference on his body?
No, definitely.
Mobility?
Even,
mostly in his shoulder?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was whining a lot about a really sore shoulder after, but there was a lot of sprinting, right? And so, but he said this morning, what if we do a measure and I'm worse? And he could be worse, right? But I see it in his swimming. You know, he's easy to get into, like hands together on the fly.
Yeah.
And he performed it really well, like even on I've videoed a frontal video of the finals, and it was nice because I had Sean next to him and Michael was going along. Sean, his mobility although he's very flexible in the elbows, right?
His left shoulder was not good.
It was bad, and he was landing super wide, but super strong. So just moving a pile of water, and then Michael's was getting his arms right together. So that was really good. So it's nice to see. Like, okay,
was he not able to get close up front before?
No, you would always land. We'd always go
a little wide.
If we could even get inside the shoulders, it would be cool. But now he's much closer, so that's really good. And then also I see on his breaststroke he's able to come through and keep and hold his arms higher. Otherwise he had dropped them, and everything just follows the arms. So
right.
So it looks good.
Did you do anything with his hips when he was a little kid?
You know what I think it is? For sure, I've no doubt, is the trampoline. We had this trampoline, and also the way we had it is I'd had the trampoline down, and then we had this wraparound deck, and I'd throw the ball at him, and he'd dive. So he was always jumping, and I think that it must have been because he was always on the trampoline jumping. It was crazy, and so I think that created the flexibility. And it's not something we were thinking about. It was just he was having fun doing that. And that's what probably made him a good goalie, because he could dive. But I'm pretty sure it was that. I mean, if we could go back, I'd say like we never worked on like flexibility and mobility.
Like you never did. You hear those stories of like the kids who sit in that W position.
Never, and he just could do it.
So it's just not because I measured his hip internal rotation. Normal. I've seen as little as 5 degrees of hip or 0 degrees of hip internal rotation. They say normal or passing is like 40-ish degrees. And he has like 70, 80 degrees of hip internal rotation.
It's crazy.
When I grabbed his leg and I was like, usually their leg stops around here, and his didn't stop. Like, his kept going. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to pop it out of the socket. But he was like, yeah, I feel nothing.
Yeah, nothing. It's crazy. That's why he can do that big kick, right?
Yeah.
And so if we, and that's what I think it's just building power. And that's where I think the destro is going to come really in handy is we do more like power. And we don't need big amounts, right? We know that. You just stress and then get out of there. Yeah. And I mean, it's going to be. I'm excited to start building the power and the kick, and then we hold. And so it'll be fun to see next time we race and power.
Cool. I have to get going soon.
Yeah.
I have to. Speaking of athletic development, I have to take my kid to jiu-jitsu.
Oh, cool.
And I got a ton of work I got to get done.
Yeah.
So your Instagram is at Coach Peter Andrew.
At Coach Peter Andrew. Yeah.
Is there anything else we can plug or shout out?
Yeah, I think Michael and I are going to start. It's not going to be as spiffed as yours, but we're going to start doing a podcast together.
Oh, nice.
Like, our journey.
Cool.
And swimming, and and I think this is so good because you're on the cusp, and it's good for swimming, so it's cool. So we'll be collaborating all the time now because we're back and forth, and so it's cool. Get all the sprinters. We'll make everyone in the world faster.
Speaking of communication, I hate your voicemail message, by the way.
It's been there for years. I don't even think about it. So.
You got me so good. I was like, so for context, Peter's voicemail message is you go, hey, or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, psych, got you. I'm not here right now. But when you said it, I was like, hey, Peter, sorry, I missed your call. And then you go, I'm like, damn it, you got me.
You're going to get a bunch of people to call him now.
Yeah.
Don't call him. Don't call him.
I said that years and years and years ago. I just never changed anything.
It's hilarious. Can you leave us a question for our next guest?
I should have been thinking, okay.
It could be as deep as you want or as shallow as you want.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it'd probably be because I believe specificity in movement is so important, and we're talking about the gym thing. Nothing on dry land is as specific as what you would do
in the water.
I know Dr. Russell had a huge thing about the Vasa trainer because they're trying to emulate exactly what. So
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, no, so it's a horrible machine. So I'd probably like. My question would be like, for you, would you think or believe that you could do something out of water that would actually translate into water that you think is as specific as swimming? Which I do think is impossible because it's a completely different, you know, and the dryland thing I was always, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but the dryland thing I always think was, you know, it's because it's not specific to swimming, but it actually is off the walls, off the dive, and the mobility and the power. I mean, that was always my thing, was how do you take that power and wrap it into the swimming? You know, but I mean, it's been super interesting for now. But I think for this, the specificity, you can't, because there's not a study in the world anyway. But that would be my question: is do they think that you can make something specific out of the water that would translate to the water?
Oh, can you make something that's specific?
Yeah, like a VASA trainer, because it seems pretty specific to swimming, right? Because you're doing the same movement, but obviously not in the water. You don't have the
okay. Yeah. So your question is device related.
Yeah, device or
methods
or just methods. Yeah, could you do something that you think would translate to swimming from dry land?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know our next guest, and I think I know how they're going to answer.
Yeah. Because and then you've got to cite some study, because there's nothing.
But can they cite their own personal experience, right?
But you see, it's got to be you know, what do they call it, where they do a study and then it's peer reviewed, and like backed up. Yeah.
But what if the study is the person just produces incredible results? I think that's a study too. You know,
it is. I mean, at the end of the day, right, even though we all, I mean, as a human race, like, we're pretty dumb, it's like we are our own scientists, right? Because like now I'm doing stuff with Michael that's different, and we, you know, and obviously they all iterating. And then it's like, so we're always learning, right? If we're not learning, we're dead. And I mean, I think that's the exciting, that's what excites me about this, is, you know, the like learning from each other too, and I love that. It's so cool. And then, you know, just seeing, because our goal is to make them as fast as they can possibly be, and then that's it, you know? Okay.
Any other closing thoughts you can leave us with?
No, I mean, it's, you know, this is fun. It's we're blessed to have Sean doing our weights program. I mean, that's a huge thing. I mean, it's trust too, right? Because, you know, if our kids trust you, we're already winners.
It's trust and belief.
And belief, And that's, I think, why, I'd go back to like the Jewish race, like the parents always tell them, hey, you're a genius. They all turn out amazing and they're brilliant. And it's like, you know, I always told Michael, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. And so he believed it. Believe it, and then you are the best. I mean, and obviously he's got genetics that are incredible, but, you know, there's a lot of genetically incredible people that are useless. So
I could write the worst gym program in the world, but I tell Michael, hey, this is the best thing ever, and he executes it with that belief. That's going to be powerful in itself. You know?
That's incredible. So so it's but I mean, at least I know that you're not writing rubbish. And we are blessed, and it's like, just life is good, and it's fun. That I'm super blessed to have my son back. You know, if I step back and look at the whole
life cycle,
the cycle is like, here we are. We're living in a beautiful place. We're back together. He's super happy.
He's swimming fast.
And it's how cool is that? So we get to go again. I would never have imagined it to be this. But like, it's I love it.
Well, thank you for trusting me to be a part of your journey.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's fun, and I'm looking forward to like our journey forward. You know, it'll be a long one, and it'll be a fun one.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone.